Hey guys, Bazzy back here, and in today's video we have some more rating reveals for NHL 26. As expected, we do have the top 10 left and right wingers. If we go to the Twitter X account here, you'll see the left wingers have been revealed. Nothing on the right wingers just yet officially, at least via the social account, but it was leaked on their website. They put up the ratings a little bit earlier, so I did compile it there and posted it online. By the time this video goes up, I'm sure that tweet will have already been made. But let's go and take a look at all of these ratings. Again, I don't have any stats in front of me. I'm just going to go and judge the overall and see how everything is looking. So first off, Nikita Kucherov at a 96 overall. He is now the top rated player we have seen in a game so far. He is ahead of Makar and Hughes on defense at 95. And honestly, no issues with him being a 96. When you just look at the overall point scoring numbers, I know obviously that's not everything. Always right up there with McKinnon, with McDavid. He's always right up at the top of the NHL. So no issues with him coming in at a 96. Moving down to 94 overall rated players, David Pastrnak and Kirill Kaprizov. Pastrnak, I think that's honestly a perfect rating at a 94. And Kaprizov, honestly, I don't think that's that bad as well. I'm surprised he didn't come in at a 95 just behind Kucherov. He is right up there as being one of the top wingers in the NHL, and I'm pretty sure last year he was a 95, so 94 is not bad for him. Those two are fine in my books. Moving down to the 93 overall rated wingers, we have Mikko Rantanen, Matthew Tkachuk, and Sam Reinhart. Our first couple of Panthers players making it into the list here. Starting out with Rantanen, again, I think that's fine, 93 overall for him. Looks like he has found a home in Dallas. No issues with that. I think he was 94 last year, so very similar. Matthew Tkachuk, I'm honestly happy he came in at a 93. I was a little concerned that with him being the cover athlete, they're going to give him a little bump and make him like 94, 95. He is a phenomenal player, but he's not obviously at that level, I don't think. So 93, I think that's, again, what we had him at last year, so no issues with that. And then Reinhart. Reinhart feels maybe a touch high. I'd probably go 92. It is in that range where it's so close. And with him winning obviously back-to-back Stanley Cups, you can't really argue with the rating that much. So two Panthers players here coming in at a matching 93. Moving down to the 92 overall rated players, have four different ones here listed. Artemi Panarin, William Nylander, Mitch Marner, and Kyle Connor. So we're definitely going to see that debate among Leafs fans. Nylander and Marner tied at a 92 overall. Obviously in the past, I think Marner has always been slightly higher rated than Nylander. I want to say Marner's normally like 93, where Nylander's 91 to 92. So curious to see, Leafs fans, what do you think of them both receiving a matching 92? Moving to Panarin at a 92 overall, and I think that's honestly probably fine for him as well. I'm glad we're past the days of him being like 95 overall. I'm pretty sure that was even last year he was 95 at launch. And yeah, he's a great player, but 95 was definitely a little bit too high, let's just say for sure. So 92 I think is a little bit more fair for him. And then Kyle Connor also coming in at a 92 overall. And again, I think that's pretty fair for what he has done in Winnipeg. He's really proven to be a superstar winger for them. Wonder if they'll be able to get him under contract coming up next year. I see him play quite a bit, and he definitely is at that level. One thing I should say with a lot of these top wingers, whether it be Connor, whether it be Kucherov, or Pastrnak, all these guys' defensive stats are definitely going to be artificially boosted quite a bit. There's just no way to, even like a guy like Kucherov, get him to a 96 overall without bumping up that defensive awareness and all those defensive stats to match. And it's funny, like looking at the list where we're currently at, the only one that probably would deserve those higher rated defensive stats is probably honestly Mitch Marner. He is good when you look at his defensive analytics and all of his data, so yeah. It is something I should note, and I also do want to say before we move on here, the overall rating formula does not look like it is going to be changing heading into NHL 26. We saw them revamp it going into NHL 25, but I tried remaking some of these players in NHL 25 with the same data, and it gave out the same overalls. Moving to 91 overall, we have Jesper Bratt. He was a guy that a few years ago, I remember a lot of people were surprised seeing him that high up the leaderboard. I think he was 89 or 90 at that point, after like one or two good seasons. But he's continued to put up the points in New Jersey. He's on that top line. And yeah, again, I think a 91 overall is not too bad for him. Moving to the 90s, we have three different players: Alexander Ovechkin, Brandon Hagel, and Clayton Keller. So this is where it's going to be interesting. I do want to go into Ovi here and look at what his edge data is showing. Because obviously at this point we know Ovi obviously can still score, but he's not that same player when it comes to obviously his skating. Stuff like that should be a lot lower. Coming into this video, I actually did a quick look at what he had in NHL 25 for his skating. He had 85 for speed and acceleration. So now it comes down to 83 speed, 85 acceleration, which is definitely better. Again, you maybe could go a little bit slower with that. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to argue NHL edge data. Apparently, they're getting these numbers from somewhere. The shot's still looking really good. Offensive stats are still fantastic, which they should be. The 90 overall, though, that feels maybe a little bit high. Maybe a little bit still of a legacy rating. I don't know. It's hard to say with Ovi. I would probably go 88, 89. I know last year I think we started him at 87, and obviously he did rebound quite a bit like last year. He broke the goal record, had a fantastic year, but is he really still a 90 overall at this point? I don't think so. I don't know. Let's go back here to the list and take a look at the rest of the ratings. Have to resort this, of course. Left wings and right wings. So we left off at the 90, left off at Ovi. Hagel also coming in at a 90. Good to see for him. Might be a touch high. He's only had one like fantastic year. Put up, I believe, 90 points in 82 games this past season. So if you're looking at it just from like the one season standard, definitely give him a 90. I'd probably still lean toward 89. And if he's having a, fantastic start to this year, for sure give him that 90. And then Keller also coming in at a 90, and that feels a little bit low to me. I'm surprised he's not at least 91. Putting him on the same level as like a Jesper Bratt, I think that's pretty fair. And it's, again, not the end of the world, one overall point, but yeah, I'd probably have him at a 91. And then moving into our last batch of players here, all these guys coming in at 89 overall. Matt Boldy, Brad Marchand, Jake Gensel, Lucas Raymond, Kirill Marchenko, and Mark Stone. So just go through this here quickly. Boldy, no issues with him being an 89. I think that's a perfect rating for him. Marchand, that one feels a little bit high. I still like Marchand as a player quite a bit, and we've seen what he can do in the playoffs, especially this last year. But when you're looking at his overall numbers, and obviously he's getting up there in age, I would probably go 87 at this point. Again, nothing against Marchand, but that feels a little bit high. Gensel at an 89. I'd honestly probably match him with Hagel. They put up very similar production amounts. Gensel honestly maybe just slightly above him just based off consistency and longevity. But yeah, 89, that's about in that range. Raymond, again, same thing, 89. I'm fine with that. Marchenko at an 89, that's an interesting one. I had to look up at his stats here prior to recording this video. And he had a super quiet, amazing season, putting up 74 points in 77 games. Yeah, it's only one fantastic year. He had 42 the year before. So 89 definitely is high for him. But 87, 86? I'm trying to look at this from the perspective of someone entering franchise mode. He's someone who's going to probably pop off for Columbus in the sim, and he's going to get to that overall pretty soon if you give him the right potential. So that definitely feels a little bit high, at least off the jump, and that's sometimes what we see with EA from these early ratings. And then Mark Stone at 89, that's probably about right. He's obviously battled injuries quite a bit throughout his career. When healthy, he is absolutely elite, especially defensively, so nothing wrong with that. But yeah, that's going to do it for your top 20 wingers in NHL 26. Definitely let me know, what do you guys think of this list in the comments down below? And I will see you all likely tomorrow with more rating reveals.